This is peak engineering. This is innovation. This is God's greatest gift to mankind. Sacrifices beyond what anyone should be willing to sacrifice have been made. For what? Just a couple grams off a mouse? Wrong! We're sub 10. We're going gripless. And we can't even charge this shit when we use it. This is a mouse. There's been a special hidden feature to the HSK Pro's PCB that seemingly no one has wanted to explore except me. Stars have aligned, making it to where the back half of the PCB works all by itself. On its own, you get the sensor and battery. With some minor soldering, you can get the side buttons too. After slapping a couple hours of CAD on this bad boy, I ruined the PCB. Not to be deterred, I bought another HSK Pro and haven't broken it yet. This is the first step in the liquid nitrogen overclock of lightweight mouse design. This goes beyond the pale of what anyone in their right mind should consider worth it in modding. This is by far the worst mouse I have ever designed in my life. There are huge inherent flaws to designing a mouse like this that I never even thought would be a problem because, well, with normal mice, you don't even have to think about them. The clicks felt good enough for a prototype, the LOD was just right, and the weight was top notch. I plugged it in and it's damn near impossible to feel out a perfect left and right. You get used to it eventually, but every time you let go of the mouse, this resets your bearings. It's far more extreme than any ergo I've ever used, but I think I can just power through it. I'll just open up some Kovacs and... After seconds of using this mouse, my hand just... I can think my way out of this though. It's just like learning how to relax my hand on a normal mouse. Time to put this to the real test. CS2. Almost immediately. I can't recenter the mouse. I cannot recenter this mouse. I can't think my way out of this. I can't just magically lift the mouse. I have met myself with the ultimate wall of this project. Do I superglue the mouse to my hands, ruining the body every time I want to use it and risk damaging the PCB? Do I design finger holders that will only work for me and might not work for everybody else? Do I give up? Hell no! Cloth glove and spiky Velcro, baby. I don't go down without a fucking fight, and I'm gonna give this mouse a fair, honest shot. If I die, try. This glove might feel more awkward than any sleeve ever could, not stick quite as well as I thought it would, force me to piss one-handed because it is a bitch to take off, but it works. It gives me an opportunity to test this monstrosity, and let me be the first to tell you, it is garbage. But didn't you say this was what you've always wanted? Weren't you the one claiming that grip was the final obstacle holding you back from the perfect mouse design? Yeah, and I still don't think I'm wrong in thinking that. This solution just isn't it. For those of you who don't know, this is claw grip and this is fingertip grip. Claw and fingertip grip are much the same, except with claw, you shove the mouse into the palm of your hand. Fingertip grip gives you an extra access to move your mouse with, whereas claw removes the access, giving you extra stability. This mouse I've designed gives the negatives of both without any of the benefits. Take your index finger and move it back and forth. Do the same now with your middle finger. Put them together and the weakest link really shines through. This leads to less range of motion, which is normally the huge benefit of fingertip grip, and at the same time, since we have less of our hand on the mouse to counteract our movements, we have a higher amount of inertia to deal with in our two little fingers. How much? Well, that's hard to say. The best way I can describe it is fingertip gripping a normal mouse that weighs somewhere in the 40 to 60 gram range with glass skates. After hearing that, you might think I'm fucking insane and that nothing will ever please me, but let me try to talk you off that cliff.
What I'm striving for here is direct input perfection. I don't fucking care how petty I'm being about a small amount of inertia. If I want to move the mouse from point A to point B, I want it to land on point B without a fucking plank length of extra movement. I want this mouse to be pure input, not just the best of the best, not just the lightest so far, pure fucking input.
Hey, look at this. Isn't this a great job? You can get your very own too. Don't you want one? Can't you not get enough of them? Why not have your own? You deserve it. Head on over to PCBWay.com and they'll print you your very own for the low cost of... Some people try to even upsell prints that they make for this much money when realistically you could just get it printed from them for this much money. And they're not just printing. They're cutting metal, they're making boards, they're making injection molds. They do anything manufacturing related. Make them into your personal factory and get your business booming today. So yeah, while this project has seemingly done nothing but disappoint me at every turn, would I call it a failure? That's a question I've been wrestling in my mind with for a while. While I do feel worse using it, I don't feel like I have full knowledge of what the skill floor or skill ceiling looks like with a mouse like this. There's a lot wrong with this mouse, but I think it's still a genre worth exploring. There are loose ends in the one finger version that make me want to chase that idea further, and unless the entire PCB and shell are made of something that just plainly doesn't exist, I don't think I'm ever going to be truly happy with it. Time and time again, it's proven that just sticking to what you got, not worrying much about how green are the grasses on the lighter mouse, and practicing is the best way to get better. I've been Turkey Tom, and until next time, leave me alone.